Hey guys, in this episode I'm going to build another seaplane. Like always, I have the rescue boat at the ready here. In this video I will show you how I built my seaplane. In the past I have tried to take off from water on Wilga with floats, but it never took off. And the second attempt was on Supermarine Walrus. It's also failed. The last attempt was on my CL415 and have the same fate. And then I present you with this Icon A5 RC model plane, 1400mm wingspan. It's made out almost entirely with 5 or actually 60mm Depron or Polyfoam. The weight is about 1 kg or 2.2 pounds for land takeoff with landing gears, and about 900 grams or 0.9 pound for water takeoff. I was very excited and also quite nervous to fly it for the first time because it has unique designs. On the real plane, the horizontal step has inverted airfoil to counter pitch down tendency on this plane. It's a typical middle pusher prop problem. As you may already know, in RC model, our solution is to give down thrust angle to the motor. As simple as that, and you will eliminate most of the pitch down tendency. I will repeat what I did on Sky Arrow on this Icon A5 because they have similar detail configuration. Instead of making inverted airfoil on the horizontal step, I angle a bit up on the trailing edge so it will have lift to counter the pitch down moment on the nose. I also angled down a bit on the motor. I added rings about 2mm thick to jack it up on the bottom mounting. I fly the plane for the first time from land first on wheels. I also include the landing gear drawing on the final plans. It finally took off without any down pitch tendency, not a little bit, just a bit trimming, and it can fly straight. There was one problem: when the plane banking, the tail was slightly bent to the left or right depending on the directions of the plane. It's because the tail or vertical stabilizers specifically needs more reinforcement. I already revised the plans and added plywood structure in between the foam. But other than that, it didn't affect the control much. It's still responsive to any control. So I think the first flight was successful. The CG is spot on, 5.5 cm or 2.1 inch from the leading edge. There was none of pitch down tendency of this plane. The angle on the horizontal step worked. Kan agak sini. And then the hardest part was trial on water. I had a bad experience for taking off from water, but I've learned from that. On CL415 it has a scale hull just like a boat. On the real plane the hull will sink into the water and make the plane stable on the surface. But on foam model, the foam always reject the water. It won't sink, so the plane will always have one side of the wing touching the water. That's what happened on my CL415. So on this Icon A5 I eliminate that scale hull and make it flat like this. The first test is water leak test. I taxi the plane to see how it goes, and yes, there was water inside. It seeped through the hole on the back here. So when you assemble the pontoon, make sure you seal all the gaps from inside and on the front as well. And make sure you wrap the receiver and ESC with waterproof plastic. I also seal the canopy hatch with clear packing tapes. And then I let my friend Handy to hand launch the plane just to record it flying above water and landing, because I thought that takeoff is the hardest thing to do, so at least I will have some video footage before it crashes on takeoff.
Lagam, dokter. Jangan tahu.
The tail bend was still visible there, but the control was still fine.
Gue sengaja tinggal di mobil daripada yang itu yang kuning one plan yang 2 meter tuh.
Landingnya ini ngadep ke kita, Om. Apa?
Nah, itulah. Ya lopas dulu aja.
Lopas ya wes, dapetin aja dulu. Nih keren nih.
Waduh ya. Iya, juga keren ini itu sate ya kan.
Jos. Bikin kudu lah Roy.
Iya, ini gua memang bikin ya.
Awas pohon kira-kira.
Ini gua setengah total apa berapa nih?
Roy, liatin Roy. Tambahin apa?
Kenapa sih? Dadaknya tuh ini gelap kan? Ya muter balik.
Ngerol. Lawan putar balik, ngerol.
Dijaga omongannya, ini masuk video ya.
Oh iya, maaf.
Oh ini mana kan belum ada darah? Jelek ya kalau begitu ya.
Ya udahlah, yang penting ada di atas air.
Dari kiri sana mana? Sorry ini Om. Oh, tadi udah tadi.
Udah Om, udah.
Untuk landing ya? Untuk landing, oh iya untuk landing ya. Ini landing ya?
Ya.
Landing dari depan aja kali.
Ngeri banget coy.
Landing. Nah dari situ, kiri, ke sini.
Lewat pohon.
Landing. Landing. Nah, ya. Terus.
Kacau.
Yang aja kalau di sini masih gemeter. Tadi coba itu kenapa masuk air? Iya, kayaknya masuk Om.
Masuk itu, pasti masuk. Yoi. Maju ya.
The landing was easier than landing on the ground. And then I tried to take off but failed. The plane looked like it was glued to the water.
Terus. Angkat.
Wih, ngepot.
I suspect this part was causing the water keep sticking to the hull. The water will stick to the corner like this and prevent the plane to detach from the water. So I remove it.
Hari.
The water was still entered the cabin but not much.
Sama kayak yang bikin ya Om. Nih Om, kalau ke atas gini Om, keren banget Om. Belum.
Okay, this is the moment of truth. At first, the tail section to the middle was submerged into the water, but after I gained enough speed, it started to rise up. I pulled a bit of elevator and it suddenly took off. I can't review this takeoff because this is my first time.
Oh, ada angin sekarang berubah aja.
Kelakuannya. Tuh, masih miring Om, elevator lu Om.
Hah?
Elevator lu miring.
Oh iya, kok bisa miring? Iya.
Kalau
udah landingin aja, dapat konten yang penting. Aku yang bagian rescue gue. Datang dia udah mau landing. Gua mau stop. Landing.
Landing dulu. Yang cakep. Wih. Kayak ikan ini, ikan pesut.
Lagi. Mana sih Roy?
Lagi.
Tim. Aku kesiangan enggak bawa lah.
I tried again after landing, but I was worried about the tail, so I turned around and get back to shore. I think I can say that takeoff was successful. I still need to practice doing it again next time. So the improvements for this model are seal off the hole on the fuselage, the holes on the fuselage, on the pontoon section, and then the tails needs reinforcement. Okay guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, consider to subscribe, and you can see the build steps after this. Check this out.
He covered the foam part with packing tape to protect it from breaking when curving the foam. Glue the part every 1 to 2 inch and wait for at least 30 seconds before continue gluing. Sand the surface on where the former will be glued, so the glue can grip the foam better. He sand the edge of this part until it's shaped like this. Gluing this part is quite tricky, he needs to glue it bit by bit. He attached the former before closing the tail segment. These two parts are from 2 mm plywood. He attached the plywood parts on their position before cutting the canopy or battery hatch. The canopy glass is made out of 0.3 mm mica plastic. He then attached 3 mm thick cable to help attaching the canopy to the fuselage. He sanded the edges of the canopy to have a better grip when glued. He uses 5 minutes epoxy glue to glue the canopy to the fuselage. After the glue is set, he cut the canopy hatch by using a guide from the plans. Now he cover what he already built so far with white packing tapes. He then smooth out all the wrinkles with covering iron. He then used black electrical tape to cover the edge of the canopy plastic. This is how he add neodymium magnets as a canopy hatch lock system. By applying epoxy glue to glue the magnets to the foam platform that attached to the nose part. And then add another pair of magnets on top of them and then glue them with another foam platform. And finally add glue to the last platform and place the canopy hatch on top of it and wait until the glue is set. He stack 5 layers of foam like this. He then align the edges on the outer edge of the first layer. Then he carve it like this before smooth it out with wet sanding. This part is made out of paper card cover with packing tapes. He cut 2 holes on each sides for attaching the pontoon. Sandwich the plywood parts with foam parts for the vertical stabilizer. He attached this plywood part to receive the horizontal stabilizer. He began attaching elevators and rudders servo. He made a trench to submerge the servo cables. Then he covered the trench with card paper and packing tapes. He inserts servo cables first before attaching the vertical stabilizer. He used mica plastic for rudder hinges. He finally attached the horizontal stabilizer to the vertical stabilizer. He used packing tapes for elevator and aileron hinges. He began to assemble the middle wing segment. He used paper roll to guide the 7mm carbon tube. This part is made out of 7mm plywood. Its function is to receive screw or small nail to be wing's lock system. After installing servo extension Y cable, he closed the wing. Look, he already attached 2mm metal rod to keep the wing in its position. He then covered it with packing tapes. He marked the fuselage shape on the bottom of the wing and then peel off the packing tapes covering according to the mark. He then glued the middle wing to the fuselage. Now he attached motor mounting to the middle wing. He installed 3536, 1200 kV, DXW brushless motor to the mounting. He also raised the motor some degree with 2 rings on the bottom screws. Now he assembled the engine cowl to cover the motor. This part is engine cowl detail accessories. He he add EVA foam to stop the carbon tube when attaching both wing. Here's how he locked the wing with rubber band. He then continue assembly the wing. Sand the trailing and leading edge into slope profile like this. After that he close the wing. Look how he pressed the bottom part against the table, not the top part, to shape the wing correctly. Now he assembly the wingtip. Look how he sand the edges into slope profile. This is the wing looks like after wet sanding all the edges. He prepares the aileron. Now he apply printed vinyl sticker decals to the model. He plans to Maiden from land first, so he adds landing gear. He also add layer of foams to reinforce the inside of the nose, where the landing gear attached at the bottom.
Cakep. Ini halus. Ini kurang jauh.